In the quiet corridors of a 19th-century boarding school, something strange was unfolding, something that defied logic, frightened students, and left a trail of whispers that still echo more than a century later. This is the true account of Emilie Sagée, a woman haunted, not by a ghost, but by a double, a living, breathing, moving replica of herself that appeared in full view of others, but never to her. Good evening, everyone. If you could, please take a second to hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps the channel and I would sincerely appreciate it. Anyway, back to the story. It began in 1845 at the Pensionat von Uelke, an elite girls' school in what is now Latvia. Emilie Sagée had been hired as a French teacher. She was polite, well-liked, and entirely ordinary at first glance. But it wouldn't be long before the students and faculty noticed something was wrong. The first sign came during one of Emilie's lessons. As she stood at the blackboard, writing with chalk, the students saw something impossible. A second Emilie appeared beside her, mimicking her every movement. But while the real Emilie held chalk in her hand and wrote fluidly, the other wrote with nothing. Its hand moved in the air, tracing invisible letters on an invisible board. It was identical to her in every way. Hair, face, clothes, but it cast no shadow, it made no sound. The students gasped, some cried out. Emilie, completely unaware, continued teaching as though nothing was happening. From that moment on, sightings of Emilie's double became more frequent and more disturbing. On another occasion, Emilie was spotted outside in the school garden, gathering flowers. A group of students remained inside, watching her through the window. A teacher entered the room, and with her, Emilie Sagée. The girls blinked in disbelief. Emilie was in the room, but also in the garden, two of her, existing at the same time, in two different places. As the students rushed to the windows, they saw the Emilie outside still moving, gathering flowers with slow, deliberate motions. But this version looked sluggish, as though it was struggling to stay visible. And then, as if sensing the attention, it simply vanished. Things escalated. Soon the apparition wasn't just appearing beside Emilie, it was acting independently. Sometimes, it was seen seated in a chair while Emilie stood. Other times it walked through hallways or mimicked chores she hadn't yet begun. It never spoke, never interacted, just mirrored, moved, existed. One girl, a student named Julie, became particularly sensitive to the presence. She described a thickness in the air. When the double appeared, a pressure in the room, like the atmosphere was charged with invisible static. She swore that when the double passed near her, her arms went numb. Another student, Lucy, recalled being in the dining hall when the real Emilie entered with a tray. At that very moment, her double stood behind her performing the same action, slightly delayed, like a reflection out of sync with time. By now, the staff had taken notice. They held meetings. They whispered behind doors, but no one could explain it. And Emilie, she had never seen the double herself, but she could tell when it was near. She would feel exhausted, drained, as if her life force were being leached, like something had borrowed her body and taken it for a walk. One student later said, her employers didn't accuse her of fraud or witchcraft, but they didn't keep her either. Parents were growing uneasy. Some began pulling their daughters from the school. They feared possession. Others whispered about a curse. Emilie was let go, not for anything she had done, but because of something beyond her control, something that followed her. The most chilling part, this wasn't the first time. By Emilie's own account, the boarding school had been her 19th position as a teacher. At each of her previous jobs, similar events had occurred. The double always followed her, always appeared, and always cost her the position. The case of Emilie is one of the most well-documented doppelganger incidents in history. It comes to us from Julie de Goldenstub, one of the students who witnessed the events firsthand. Years later, she recounted everything in vivid detail. Her account corroborated by other students of the time. Their stories matched. The same descriptions, the same strange events. But despite all the eyewitnesses, no one ever captured evidence, no photograph, no physical trace, just testimony and a legend that refuses to fade. Skeptics have tried to explain it away. Mass hallucination, hysteria, fabrication. But these theories fall flat under scrutiny. The sightings were consistent, repeated over months, witnessed by dozens of people who had nothing to gain and everything to lose by telling the truth. So what was it? A tulpa, a thought form made manifest by Emilie's own subconscious, a fractured reflection of herself from another timeline, or something darker, a parasitic entity, feeding off her life force, mimicking her to blend into our world. We may never know. Emilie disappeared from public record after her dismissal. No confirmed sighting, no grave, just a strange story tucked away in dusty journals, passed around late at night when the air feels heavy and the lights begin to flicker. The story of Emilie Sagée is more than just a ghost tale. It's a challenge, a riddle, a reminder that sometimes the most terrifying thing is not what hides in the dark, but what walks beside us, wearing our face. And the next time you catch movement in the corner of your eye, when you know you're alone, but feel someone standing right behind you, ask yourself, is it a shadow, or is it your double, And if it is, what does it want? Thank you for exploring the unknown with me. Please like and subscribe, and feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments as well as suggestions for future videos. Until next time, keep your eyes open and trust nothing that wears your face.